Hello, and welcome to our Visuddha practice for the throat chakra. The throat chakra is located, of course, right at the throat. It encompasses the thyroid, the larynx, um, as part of your esophagus, your trachea, your ears, and of course, it all has to do with expression. This is where we express all of the other chakras. So, expressing our truth, our personal truth, expressing our emotions, expressing um, boundaries that we set, um, and communication of all sorts, and also listening. So, receiving communication from others. So, if we're imbalanced in this chakra, you might have a sore throat, stiff neck, a lot of colds, tonsil issues, infections, thyroid issues, or problems hearing. If you're lacking in this chakra, you may have the inability to speak up and speak your truth, to set healthy boundaries and communicate well. If you're too much, you might talk over people without listening. um, the boisterous person who likes to share everything they have within themselves, but doesn't take in information from others. So this is where we express our emotions, where we express love and gratitude, and um, and our personal truth. So the best way to move this energy, we will be doing an asana practice or a movement practice, but the best way is through chanting, which can be really uncomfortable for a lot of people. I know I practiced Kundalini for yoga for a long time, um, and there's a lot of chanting with Kundalini yoga. And when I first started, it was a very uncomfortable practice for me, very, very uncomfortable. And I wasn't confident, and a lot of that, confident, and that a lot of that came from the solar plexus, that self love, that self confidence. Um, who cares what I sound like? As a collective, it really raises the vibration. And for those who practiced with me in person last night, I don't know if you noticed. Um, this uplifting of energy, almost like a high. And this is the Kundalini rising. So we've brought it up from the root, from the sacral, solar plexus, heart, into the throat and expressing. And then we'll move on next week to the third eye, the next week, the crown. And the final class will be um, putting it all together. We'll do a full chakra cleansing and pulling that energy up. And one thing I forgot to mention is as we get into these higher chakras, it's important to ground after your practice. So you can ground by literally going outside and getting your feet on the earth. Of course, we live in Maine, so that's a little difficult right now. Hands on a tree because it's rooted into the earth. So you're literally grounding your energy, and talking to others, like bringing yourself back to the present moment. Bringing yourself back to the five senses. What do I see, hear, feel, taste? And what am I experiencing right here in this present moment in my surroundings? And that will ground you and bring you kind of back down to earth so you're not up here in the ethers, which can be a fun place to be. So, anyway, on with our practice. Last night we did 11 minutes of chanting the Ganesha Mantra. And Ganesha is a Hindu god. The god with a big elephant trunk. And Ganesha is said to be the remover of obstacles. So, in honoring Ganesha, and bringing that energy in, we remove obstacles to create space to receive abundance. Abundance, not just in the physical form, but, love, emotion, mind, body, soul. And so, when we're chanting this mantra, we're in Gyan Mudra. So thumb and forefinger or index finger, the pads touch lightly. The other three fingers are straight, and the elbow creases shine forward, and our wrists are on our knees if that's in your body type. So if we're sitting for 11 minutes, it's really important to get yourself comfortable. This is where you may want to take a folded blanket, put it underneath the hips, get into position, making sure you're not arching the back and you're not rounding the back, but there's a slight tuck, a slight mula bandha, a slight lift in that root to keep you steady and straight. The chin is down. The drishti, or the eye gaze, is at the third eye. So your eyes are closed and you're looking up towards this third eye area as you're chanting. And if you stumble over the words, that's okay. It's being in this energy. So even if you hum the words, and the mantra is Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. And I did share with you the link for this particular version of the mantra on Spotify in our Google Classroom, along with the mantra. So this version, Gam is really passive and you almost miss it. So it's Om Gam Ganapatiye Namaha. I mean, not quite that fast, but you might miss it, and it's okay if you stumble over the words. It's mainly just bringing yourself into this this vibration of calling in the Ganesha energy. So we'll take a few minutes. I was playing with the idea of, do I want to do the 11 minutes with you on here? And I may do 3 minutes. So from my experience in yoga, there are a few magical numbers: 3, 8, 11. It's said that if you chant this 108 times, this mantra, morning and night, so the kind of magical times to chant, and you'll see this in some of the Eastern practices when they meditate at dawn, but dusk is also a magical time. So it's the power of the rising sun. We're kind of harnessing that energy and starting our day out that way. So if you can't fit in, 108 times, maybe 3 minutes in the morning, and sometimes that's difficult at sunrise if you have other family members around, but dusk is fine. Any time is fine, but those are the magical times. So I think I'll do 3 minutes with the video, but you can always do your chanting prior to this video if you repeat it, and then do the sequence, or just do the chanting. Ganesha mantras are great to do before or after, like right around within 2 or 3 days of the full moon, to release what you no longer need to carry and allow abundance in. So the full moon was on Wednesday midday, 11:57, I think, somewhere around there. And we're still actually in that magic here on Friday. And I certainly could feel it last night when I got home. I could feel that I had brought my vibration up, and vibrating with the collective, chanting with the collective in our group is extra magical. I mean, it's still magical when you do it by yourself, but I find that being in that energy is pretty amazing. Okay, so let's get into posture. So Gyan Mudra, thumb and forefinger together, and elbow creases shine forward. Relax the shoulders down and back. That nice draw up of energy, holding you straight, your posture nice and straight. Jaws relaxed, faces relaxed, eyes are closed, and the gaze is up towards the third eye. So we'll do 3 minutes today, but 11 would be wonderful. Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam 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 Ganapataye Namaha. Om 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 Ganapataye Namaha. Return to your natural breath. You can relax your gaze either with eyes closed or open 2 to 3 feet ahead of you. And just notice how you feel. Notice if you've begun to stir up that energy at the throat chakra. Relaxing the fingers. We'll take a deep breath in and sigh out on the exhale. Letting the shoulders go. One more time. And one more time. Inhale deeply. And we'll bat the eyelashes open and begin our practice to move the energy in the throat chakra through breath and movement and intention. Bringing up our throat chakra music, a couple of our mantras that we'll be listening to are Hummy Hum Brahm Hum. And those mantras mean we are we are one. So feel free, especially, if you're by yourself, you might start to kind of either repeat this in the mind or actually sing it out loud or chant it out loud as we're practicing to help continue moving this energy. Remembering that the throat chakra is a bright blue color and kind of visualizing that opening up, spinning, and that energy moving, bringing the energy up from the lower chakras to express them, to communicate clearly your desires. So we begin, I'm going to remove my blanket, but you can certainly continue to sit. We're going to interlace the fingers, bring them underneath the chin. And as we inhale, draw the elbows up without bringing the shoulders up to the ears. Bring the shoulders up, the chin up, inhaling, finding expansion. And on an exhale, dropping the head down, kind of waking up the neck. Continuing to move that energy and move back in the front of the throat chakra. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Dropping the hands, maybe giving the shoulders a couple of circles. So the throat chakra actually encompasses the shoulders too, where when we were working on the heart chakra, the part of the shoulders that were involved with the shoulder blades, the scapulas. So we're more in the shoulders. So we'll also be kind of opening up this whole area, front and back. We'll take the left hand to the mat, right hand on the right knee, and slowly drop the head, the ear towards the left shoulder, keeping both shoulders down and not leaning. We're not stretching the side body. The whole stretch is in this right side. Oops, sorry, wrong hand. Right hand over, left hand to left ear, sorry. I had a lot of coffee this morning. Taking a few breaths here with the gaze straight ahead. And then bringing the chin towards the floor. And noticing where you're feeling this in this sternocleidomastoid, and then the top of the trapezius and the top of the deltoid. Then bringing the gaze very slowly up towards the ceiling. If this is uncomfortable in your neck in any way, then maybe just stay here at neutral. But if it feels okay, maybe working out any kinks in that neck, noticing where you're feeling tension today. Breathing. And coming to neutral, bringing the left hand up to the right ear. And just a little, not pulling, just letting gravity do its thing, if it's comfortable. Opening up that side of the neck a little bit more. And then maybe flexing the hand, bringing it up and down. Noticing how this changes the stretch. Maybe forward and back. Stopping where you feel tension. Taking a breath there. To just let everything go. Dropping that left hand down to the mat and the right hand, and very slowly coming up to center, maybe rolling those shoulders again. This time, we'll do the right hand to the mat and bring the right ear. I definitely notice my left side is a little tighter from my job. So trying to bring the shoulders square and down away from the ears, and just dropping that, noticing that stretch in the side of the neck. Keeping the torso upright. We're not bending over at all. And then bringing the gaze down. I did it again. Bringing the gaze down so the left hand is out. I should not be allowed to have coffee. And then up, very slowly, noticing where you feel tension. And maybe pausing there, bringing breath, and notice right here. Bringing the right hand up to the left ear, making sure your gaze is forward when you do this. Letting gravity pull you over a little bit more, creating a little more space between the shoulder and the ear on that left side. Bringing that hand up, flexed, up, back and forth, noticing where you have a little tension. Bringing breath to that area, not holding your breath. Bringing the hand back down to the mat. And then slowly back up to center. I'm going to draw circles with the nose. And by doing circles with the nose versus just cranking into it, we're protecting the neck and we might not crunch the neck as much. So we're going to do a spiral. And I want you to think of starting out really small, it's small circles with your nose and getting larger in a spiral, like you're growing. And as you do this, you're growing this blue, beautiful blue light. So we'll start in one direction, doesn't matter which direction, just remember which directions because we'll go the opposite way in a few minutes. So small circles first, close your eyes. It's easier to picture the circle, I think, if you have your eyes closed. Shoulders are down and back. Honey hum, honey hum, honey hum. Growing your circle wider and wider. And then coming to center. And then we'll start in the opposite direction. Small circles with the nose. Breathing. The rest of the body is completely relaxed. Closing the eyes, picturing this spiral, this beautiful blue light of the throat chakra. Coming to center, and then just roll the shoulders back a few times, forward, all the way up to the ears and back, squeezing the shoulder blades together as you come back. And then a few to the front, back, up and forward and down. Bringing that energy into the shoulders. And coming to neutral, bringing the shoulders, squeezing them up to the ears, and then letting them drop. Inhale up, exhale down. Letting everything go. And then maybe a few circles back again. We'll come to a spinal twist. So we'll be doing a few different versions of twist today. And how this affects the throat chakra is the head is the last thing to move into a twist. So we're just kind of moving that energy front, back, side, all the way around this throat chakra. So right hand on right knee, left hand behind the hip. Twist your torso first. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, turn into the twist without cranking too hard because we haven't warmed up the body. And then let your gaze move beyond that left shoulder. So moving the head into the twist without cranking, just gently. Taking a few breaths here. So every inhale, you lengthen the spine, you grow tall. And with the exhale, you melt into this twist a little deeper. And on an inhale, we move back into center and over to the other side. Left hand on right knee, right hand behind the right hip. Inhale, grow tall in the spine. Exhale, move your torso, your shoulder back, and then your head turns and you gaze over that right shoulder. Inhaling, growing tall. Exhaling, moving a little deeper into the stretch. And on an inhale, we move back to center. We're going to begin to move into a more active practice, coming to hands and knees. Of course, we're going to do a little cat-cow, get the spinal fluid refreshed and moving along our entire spine, but also energetically through all of our chakras. So knees under hips, wrists under shoulders, elbow creases shine forward, so the index finger and thumb are forward. As we inhale, now let's think about the throat chakra in the head in the position. So as we inhale, we shine the chest forward, drop the belly, the hips, the sacrum come up towards the ceiling. And the last thing to come up is the gaze. We're not cranking the head up, but just bringing it up just a little bit further than parallel to the floor. And as we exhale, we go from our navel curling under, pushing away from our mat so that we dome the back like a Halloween cat, and then the head drops down as we empty out all of that air. So we're not cranking the head down. It's the last thing that comes down just with gravity. Inhale up, shine the heart forward, gaze comes up, tailbone up. Exhale completely, rounding first from the navel, so bringing the muscles in towards the spine at the navel, shoulders round, and then the head drops. Inhale up, being very conscious of the neck and the head, and exhale, curling like a Halloween cat. And then syncing up with your own breath pattern, but inhaling fully, bringing in as much air as possible, and exhaling completely, so that now the breath is audible. Going at your own pace, and if it's in your practice, you can speed up your breath and your movement, or you can stay at a slower pace. Feeling the spine begin to warm up. And coming to stillness at tabletop, still we're engaged in the navel so that the back is nice and straight and flat. We're not just dumping into this position. Bring the toes to touch, knees as wide as the mat. We're coming into a wide leg extended child's pose. So sitting back with the hips towards the feet, and then extending the hands out and bringing the forehead to the mat. Taking a few breaths here, opening up the shoulders through the armpits. this is uncomfortable, your hands begin to tingle, bring your hands out a little bit wider or bend your elbows. And we can even get the third eye into action here by rolling the forehead on the mat back and forth as we're in this position. This also feels great if you have any sinus pressure. So the third eye is the seat of our intuition. The pineal gland resides here, stimulating our sixth sense, our ability to know. And then coming to stillness, connecting with the breath, inhaling deeply so the back body stretches, fills with air, and as you exhale, you melt the heart more deeply towards the earth. Base is relaxed. Inhale in and begin to rise up from the navel. We're going to keep the legs in this position and come into a lion's breath. Remembering the lion's breath is very detoxifying and clearing and also stimulates the throat chakra. So when we do a lion's breath, we look up at the third eye, the eyes are open, the eyebrows lift, the mouth is open as wide as possible, the tongue comes out as far as possible, and we breathe out that lion's breath. So we'll do it from this position. We're going to turn the wrists around. If this is not comfortable, this is a great stretch for the wrists if you have any wrist issues. Please don't do this if this is really uncomfortable. You can have your hands up to here, just to the side if that's as far as you can turn them, or you can keep them straight forward. So we'll turn the wrists around if it's in your practice, if you feel okay with that. Just make sure that they're directly under the shoulders and not in or out or forward or back. We do a couple little circles in one direction. And then in the other. Getting a little wrist stretch in. And then coming to stillness. Maybe come back just a little bit. And then come forward. And then we'll do our lion's breath. So as we'll inhale, and as we exhale, we'll drop the belly. Sacrum shines up towards, the tailbone shines up towards the sky. And we'll look up, lift the eyebrows up, open the mouth, and stick the tongue out as we breathe out. So inhale deeply. We'll do 3. Inhale deeply. Nice work. We'll turn the wrists back around. Bring the knees underneath the hips. Sit back. Maybe give the wrists a little circle, a little love before we move on. Maybe extend the arm out, keep the shoulder down. Bring the hand down to stretch the wrist that way. And then tip over with the thumb right in the middle of the hand. Stretching out that forearm. Other hand. And a few little circles of the wrists. Maybe a few little circles of the shoulders. Maybe a little wiggle. Shake everything loose. We're going to come into a Cobra Flow. So this Cobra sequence begins in child's with the legs together. So sitting like we are right now, the hands are forward. Then we come through to Cobra. So lifting up to Cobra. And then from the navel point, pushing up into a cat, into that hunched. So we're pushing, doming the shoulders up, and we're bringing the tummy in at the navel towards the spine, and then coming back to a child. So we'll do that a few times slowly first. So child's pose, through to your tummy, cobra, on an inhale. On an exhale, cat, bringing the navel up. Inhale back to child's pose. Come through to your belly. Inhale up, cobra. Remember, we're not pushing up. This is an extension. So everything is in alignment. From the tail, the energy is coming out your crown. So we're not lifting the chin way up or way down. And then back to cat. So going at your own pace. Child's, through to cobra, up to cat. As whatever feels right in your body today for pace. Just remembering to breathe. We don't want to move too fast and risk injury here. And then we'll do one more. Coming through and up to table. Curl the toes under. We're going to come to our first downward dog. So bringing the hips up first. It's okay to have the knees bent generously. Making sure you get that nice straight alignment from your hands all the way up to the tailbone. Your head is between your ears. Your face is relaxed. Once you get this nice alignment, so we've got that motion I always talk about of almost like you're opening up a mason jar, which brings your shoulders away from your ears. We can begin to drop one heel down and then the other. Coming to stillness. The knees can be bent generously here, or we can try to straighten them out. I just ran in the woods, so a little tight. On an inhale, lift the right leg up only as high as you can go while maintaining your hips flat. You don't want to open up like this. So your hips are flat, your leg is up. Inhale, exhale. Come up and through between your hands. High lunge, roll your shoulders back. Shine your heart forward. We'll turn the back foot out, 45-degree angle. Hands to the hips and rise up to Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Adjust your feet so you have a nice stance. You don't need to be in a tightrope. You can have a little bit of space between your legs, but make sure your knee is bent over your ankle. Your hips are turning so you're straight ahead. Inhale, reach forward, up and back. Stretch up, up, up. And as you exhale, turn your back foot so the back edge of your foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. Make sure you're still deep into this lunge, only so we don't want to go this far so that the knee is beyond the toes, but the knee is in alignment with your ankle. Hips, torso, head in alignment. Arms are out. Roll the shoulders back and down. Energy goes beyond the fingertips as you gaze beyond that right hand. Little tuck of the tummy, Mula Bandha, pulling that energy up, keeping you stable. Take an inhale in, and as you exhale, we'll come down back to the lunge, so the back foot turns back around so it's straight ahead. The heel extends back, the left hand on the mat. We're going to come into another twist. So knee is over the ankle in the front. Now bring your shoulders back first, then extend the hand up, and then maybe turn the gaze up without cranking. If this hurts your neck, look forward. We don't want our head down here. We don't want it cranked up. We want it straight in alignment with the back leg, with the length of the spine. So we're open here for a couple of breaths. Deep breath in. Stretch up, wiggle the fingers, and as you exhale, come down. We'll bring the front leg back to a plank. You can be in a half plank, or you can be in table, whatever feels good today. We're going to lower to the belly for Cobra. So we bring the arms in close to the body, come forward on the toes, and slowly lower down to the belly. Take a breath in. Slowly lift up, remembering that nice spinal alignment. The shoulders squeeze back and down. Exhale down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale down. We're going to flip the toes and power up to plank, table, half plank, whatever's in your practice today, and then meet in downward dog. So inhale, power up to plank, and then back to downward dog. We'll take a couple of breaths here. On an inhale, lift the left leg up. Exhale, bring it in and up and forward between your hands. Roll the shoulders back and down. You can have blocks here when you're in a lunge, if that helps you bring the earth up to you a little bit more. Shining the heart forward. We'll turn the back foot at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, hands on hips, and power up from that center to a warrior one. Hips are square and forward. Inhale, forward, up and back. Maybe a little back bend as you stretch up. A good inhale, stretch up, and as you exhale, we're going to turn to warrior two, the back foot in alignment with the back edge of the mat. Torso is in alignment, arms are straight out. Make sure you're not tipped one way or the other. Roll the shoulders down and back, pinkies towards the back of the room. And then gaze over that front hand, making sure your knee is over the ankle. Take an inhale in and exhale. Come down to your low lunge. Right hand on the mat. We're going to twist, bringing the shoulder back first, then the hand up, and then bring the gaze up towards the sky. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, come down. We go straight into a downward dog. So bring the left foot back and then straight into downward dog. And from here, we'll move to plank, just straight to plank. And then just like we did before, we're going to come on the toes forward, bring the elbows in towards the body, and slowly lower to the belly. We're going to do shoulder rolled over to open up the shoulders. So first, we'll put the left arm out straight on the floor, lay on your left ear. Your right hand supports your body, and we'll take the right leg and move it towards the back. So we're rolling and stretching out this bottom shoulder. If you're here, that's okay. Depends on the flexibility in your shoulder. Rolling back to the belly, bringing the leg back over, bringing the right arm out, landing on the right ear. The left leg, the top leg, rolls over and back, stretching out that lower shoulder. Rolling back to the belly and just pausing here, placing the hands either down at your sides or up here. Just taking a moment to let your body adjust. A couple of breaths here. Then we'll place the hands by the shoulders, underneath the shoulders, and from the center, we'll curl the toes under and either power up to plank, half plank, or table, and then to downward dog. Taking a few breaths here in downward dog. Relax the face and the neck. Remember, the ears are next to your biceps. They're not, your head's not in or up. And here in downward dog, let's take 3 lion's breaths again. So inhale deeply and lion's breath out. Inhale again. One more inhale. And on an inhale, look up, bend your knees, and begin to slowly walk your feet towards your hands. Come into a forward fold. Maybe you grab opposite elbows. Shake your head yes. Shake it no. You can bend your knees generously so that you move it more into like a lower back stretch than a hamstring stretch. You can kind of play around with that where you feel like you need to stretch and bring breath. We'll take a deep breath in. Let the arms go and slowly roll up to mountain from the center, supporting our torso, our spine. The shoulders roll back, and then the gaze lifts. The hands open up. The chin is parallel to the floor. There's a little lift in the quadriceps in the front of the legs. The shoulders are down and back. We'll take a few breaths here in mountain. We'll bring the feet together. I'm going to turn towards you so you can see what I'm doing. We'll bring the feet together. So toes touch. There's probably about a thumbprint between your heels. We're going to bring the arms out in front as a counterbalance and sit back like you're sitting in a chair. Keep your chest up though. There's a slight tuck of your tummy, but you're not rounded like this. So your spine is nice and straight and you're supported here in your tummy. You can almost lift your toes. All of your weight is in your heels. So you're sitting back in Uttanasana, chair pose. You can bring your arms up so thumbs come up and out. I like to go wide so that I don't feel any tension in my shoulders. So sit back, take a few breaths here. Lifting the chest. We're not hunched over. Chest is up, sink deeper. On an inhale, we'll rise up. Bring the arms down, maybe roll the shoulders. Take a breath in, bring the hands up and into prayer. Bring them together. We'll sit back again. We're going to come into a twist. So we're going up and over as we sit back into chair. The right elbow is on the left thigh. You want to make sure your knees are even, that you're not twisting your hips. Your hips are nice and square, so don't come down so low that you lose that integrity. We're going to come over to a twist, pressing into that outer thigh and slowly bringing the gaze upward if it's in your practice without tipping over. So there's a lot going on. So pulling that Mula Bandha, that Uddiyana Bandha, that abdominal lock to keep you centered, prevent you from falling over. Trying not to grip in the toes. We'll breathe in and come up. And exhale, come over to the other side. So same thing. Pull that root lock, that Uddiyana Bandha. And then begin to move your head towards the ceiling, twisting the entire spine. Hold on, hold on. Inhale up. And exhale, rain everything down. I'll turn sideways again. We'll lower ourselves down very carefully. It might help to widen your stance. Lower very carefully down to your mat. Come to seated. We're going to go into a supported shoulder stand. So watch me before we begin. Excuse me. We're going to take our folded blanket to support our shoulders. So a couple of ways that you can get into shoulder stand. So what we're doing is we're bathing the brain in blood. We're bringing blood up to our upper chakras. So we'll lie back with the shoulders on the folded blanket, the head on the mat. Here's one version. You can take the block and place it under your hips, not your lower back, under your hips. Hands are at the sides. And then bring one leg in, the other leg in, and then the legs straight up. Or you can keep them at a micro bend, or you can even have them bend here. The big thing is to have the legs and the hips higher than the heart and the brain. Now, the more traditional version, I'm going to move my ponytail. Bring the hips up and the hands come, the elbows kind of go down and back behind us. The hands are up. There's my helper. Behind the sacrum, and the feet are up. The quads are engaged. And what we don't want to do, which I just did, was roll the head to side. You want to make sure your head remains looking up at the ceiling to prevent any neck strain. And here's my helper, Jade. Thank you for kissing my feet. There's always the option to come into plow where you drop your feet either on, you could use, I'm using my couch, or you can actually drop them all the way back to the floor. Again, making sure that you do not turn the head while you're doing that. Or you can drop your knees, bend your knees, and have them back by the ears. So kind of play around with what is comfortable. We'll be here for a couple more breaths. And when you come out of this, we're going to bend the knees first and then release your hands and slowly roll down. Oops, it's hard to do on the blanket. Roll down. We're going to come into bridge pose. And we're going to incorporate a little shoulder massage in this bridge pose. You're on my hair. So feet are hip width apart. Make sure your knees don't go out or in. All the pressure will be into our feet. It will be down and forward. So we're pressing up in the pelvis. Our hands are down. And as we lift the pelvis, we're going to do this very slowly so that we feel, just take a little tuck of the pelvis so that you feel your sacrum flat on the floor. And then we'll come up, kind of peeling the spine off. And as we do that, we'll inhale, both arms, sorry, I've got a puppy chewing on me, will come up overhead. And then as we exhale, we very slowly, feeling that articulation through the spine, as we very slowly drop one vertebrae at a time down on the mat until our sacrum is flush with the mat again. So please do this nice and slow and really notice how your spine meets the mat, and that massage through the shoulder. Inhaling, we bring the hands up, the pelvis comes up, and as we exhale, sorry about my helper here, we come down. Inhale, we roll up, 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 up. And exhale, we come down. Jade, no. Hey, no, be a good girl. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale, we come up. And exhale down. One more. Inhale up. Pelvis, then all the way up the spine as the arms come up. And exhale, everything comes down. Maybe bring the legs in, the knees bent towards the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Last pose of the day, we're going to do a spinal twist with the legs bent in. Arms are straight out to the side. We'll take an inhale, and as we exhale, drop the legs over to the left. The gaze goes to the right, trying to keep both shoulders down on the ground. Letting everything go. Any last tension out of the back, out of the spine, the neck, shoulders. Inhale to center, exhale to the right. Turn your head to look over your left shoulder. Inhale the knees to center, stretching the right leg towards the right corner, the left leg towards the left corner, and bringing your arms down to your side, snuggling the shoulder blades underneath your heart space, palms face up, and grabbing whatever it is you need for Savasana. If you need a blanket over you, would like a blanket over you, or you're feeling like you might like a pillow or some sort of support underneath your knees, that might be nice. We're going to come into a nice Savasana for a throat chakra meditation. So getting comfortable, getting your whole body relaxed. You can always do this sitting up if you prefer, whatever comfortable position you prefer. Close your eyes. This is your time now. So leave all your worries at the door. Allow yourself to relax into the flow of the moment. Whatever comes easily for you is just right. There is only right here, right now. The future and the past do not exist right now. Notice any sounds outside of the room. Acknowledge them and let them go. Notice any sounds inside of the room. Acknowledge them and let them go. Tell your body to relax. Let your feet and legs soften into position. Drop your shoulders. Relax your hands. Allow your full body to soften down and relax into a natural position. Now tell your head and face to relax. Your scalp and hair. Your ears, your jaw and chin, your cheeks, your nose, your eyes, and your eyebrows, your forehead, all soft and relaxed. Take a cleansing breath in and breathe out all the tension in your body. Allow your breathing to fall into its own natural rhythm, not trying to control it in any way. Just observing as you breathe in relaxation and breathe out tension. Breathing in, breathing out, just watching the natural rhythm of your breathing. If thoughts intrude, allow them to flow on past and return your attention to your breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring your attention to your throat area. Imagine a lovely little sky blue light there, swirling around like a little whirlpool. Try to notice how it feels, how it looks. Try to get a sense of how it is functioning. Can you feel any tingling? What thoughts are popping into your head? Is it swirling and moving? What speed is it? Does it feel fast or slow? A little small light or a big enlarged light? Can you see any color in your mind's eye? Visualize again the little blue light around your throat area. Watch as the blue glow starts to gently spread out and get bigger as it spins. Now bring your attention to your breathing. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. As you breathe in, visualize yourself breathing in turquoise blue light down into your throat area. With every in-breath, you pull in more fresh blue light, allowing it to fill your throat chakra and your neck area. Spreading out through your whole body. Breathing in blue light down to your chest, your arms and hands, down into your pelvis, your legs and feet. Breathing in blue light up to your head, letting it fill your entire body, connecting with all other chakras. As you breathe in this turquoise blue light, it brings you truth, clear expression, and good listening. As you breathe out, the blue light removes all blockages. Feel the lovely blue glow as it gently spins and envelops you. Breathing in blue light, breathing out tension. Tell yourself you are clear, you are truthful, you are expressive. Breathing in blue light, breathing out tension. Breathing in blue light, breathing out tension. Imagine again this spinning sky blue orb and imagine it opening like a twirling flower, stretching out wide in diameter. Now see the light and energy of divine positive guidance pouring into you, into your mind, into your hearing, enlightening every cell of your being. Hold this image for 5 to 7 breaths. Bring your attention back to your chest area, to the green light of the heart chakra. And visualize the swirling blue light of your throat chakra getting smaller, bringing it down to around the size of a fairy light. Bringing it back down to normal function. Repeat to yourself, my throat chakra is working at normal function. Bring your awareness back to the flow of your breathing, in and out, in and out. Notice the cool breath as it comes in through your nose and down the back of your throat and into your lungs. Notice the natural movement of your tummy as you breathe in and out. Be aware of your full body again as it rests against the floor. Bring your attention to your toes and give them a wiggle. Then to your fingers and give them a wiggle. Give your shoulders a little shrug. And let yourself become aware of the room again, of all the sounds close by. Taking any last movements or stretches that you might need. And when you're ready, rolling to your right side in a fetal position, taking a moment to rest here. And maybe bringing these throat chakra affirmations into your being, repeating them mentally. I am open, clear, and honest in my communication. I have a right to speak my truth. I love to share my experiences and wisdom. I know when it's time to listen. I express my gratitude towards life. I listen to my body and my feelings to know what my truth is. I am at peace. You slowly come up to a seated position, eyes closed. And when you arrive here, bringing the hands together in prayer to the third eye, taking a moment of gratitude for this practice. The light in me recognizes the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.